that's good. Check this thing right now. Playing on WBLZ server.
Them niggas is late.
Dave still coming?
NFL.
Yo, you know what? He was supposed to.
This shit ain't working.
Yo, Dave, where you at though?
Oh, he was supposed to be coming?
Yeah, he was supposed to come. He was like just gonna chill.
All right, Rock. I'm about to should I send it to my page or
Whatever you do, bro. Show me where to go.
it's on the don't shoot the messenger.
I feel like I'm new.
Okay, there we go. It's on my don't shoot the messenger. I'm gonna share on my page. Post that. Then I'm going to share WBLZ. Alright, bet. Alright. About to do my drop. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
It's your boy, the Ruck Report.
We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
The Redeem Team.
What's good, man?
I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Come on, man, here.
Get on that mic.
Get on that mic, B.
Put this one.
Pause.
There you go.
Bulavelli in the building, y'all.
There
I'm
you
back
go.
up in here. They
Okay.
told me I froze up last
Oh,
time.
yeah, he did.
I'm back like I left my car keys, man.
There you go.
Yeah, he did.
Now you
Yo, shots fired.
Now
Shots
you
fired.
I mean, listen.
Drop one of Cool's bombs.
We had,
Come on, man.
we had Takashi up here last week. Now,
Yo,
now
boom.
boom. Let your nuts hang.
Listen, I don't know who told you that you froze up. I'm just saying. I thought
The streets told me that. The streets
told
me
you?
that. You know, I mean, we gotta go by the code of the streets. We don't
I
snitch,
mean,
bro.
maybe it was the tables that we had last time. maybe because it was late. I don't know, but I'm just saying though. Last time you
It
came
was
in
late
here-
though. It was late. I get
Right.
it.
I thought you were gonna
was
come
late?
up here, you know,
Yeah, that's back when we was doing it at like
at night.
11
at night. Yeah, we was doing it like 10,
it
11.
was.
because you work like first shift, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
They ain't had no five-hour energy.
Nah, that was my first time, doing the podcast.
Full of energy today though.
Back on it, though.
It's daylight, in the springtime. So
All right. Okay. So we was clowning your Dallas Cowboys.
oh
Gonna
man.
jump right in.
Oh yeah, we gonna.
Look,
jump right
look.
in.
We
Boom.
popping though, we got a young team. We got Dak and Zeke. It's their time
That's
to take
it?
it over. Man.
That's it. You know you got 9 other guys you got to worry about, right? That's it. That's it.
We got the best,
So you got-
I think we got one of the top 3 running backs in the NFL right now. man.
I will agree with that. Again,
That's it?
That's all you got. It's 11 men on the field.
We got an offensive lineman that's prime. Our offensive lineman
True.
is probably the
Hey,
best in the
man.
league.
But who gonna catch the ball though?
Cole Beasley says too much sauce.
We gonna be young. We gonna have a young bunch of receivers out there.
Now, how about your boy? Because now you said you don't like the Tavon Austin pick, right? I think
Nah,
it's
I
dope.
like it. I like it.
I think it's dope.
I
Ask
don't-
Dez what he think
I
about
don't talk no negativity about my Cowboys on camera. So
Exactly.
nah, I never
On
said
air.
that ever in my life.
I ain't say you said it. I just want to know what's popping with it. Okay, so you said that. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
We Dallas, baby. We got nothing to worry about. We going to the Super Bowl.
Oh man.
Whoa.
You already know.
Last time y'all been to Super Bowl
Yeah,
was
he
when y'all
came. He
hosted.
came up in here.
Boom, boom.
We
Next
going
time.
to,
Where y'all going this season?
listen. We going way farther than y'all going.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
How
much you want?
How
bet?
much you want to bet on
How
that?
much? Listen, I ain't even
This
bet.
be
I'll
2
bet.
weeks in a
How much you
row?
want?
Yo.
Bet?
Out of 6'9"?
How much you want?
6'9".
6'9".
Listen, we gonna have a
Boom.
way better record than Dallas will.
No, y'all
this year.
not.
Yes,
What's
we
the bet?
will.
What's the bet?
What's
What's
the
the
bet?
bet?
What's the
Put it on
bet?
air.
All
You
right,
tell me
you
what's
got
the
wear
bet.
you got wear Dallas jersey. I wear San Fran jersey.
Oh, that's
at the end of
easy,
the
man. I
season.
got 2 for you. What you want? And I got a hat for you. What you want?
I got the Zeke. I got the Romo. I got the Romo shirt.
Oh, come on.
I'll make you wear the Romo shirt.
Yeah,
Listen.
they wear the Romo shirt.
Listen, I'll make you wear the Frank Gore jersey. That compliments of Chris. You know what I mean? We gonna have a way better record.
I did. No, I
We
did.
gonna have a way
I don't need
better
it.
record than
I ain't
than
need it.
Dallas will.
I don't need no
on,
90s
man. We
paraphernalia.
went 9-7 last year, man.
9-7.
Without Zeke, we missed Zeke for like 6-7 games.
Man, listen.
We went 9-7.
Y'all can be worse next year.
We got Zeke for 16 games.
Shit.
Zeke gonna be a monster. I think he might have ran for 1,000 yards in almost 10 games last
Listen,
year.
we will
Running
see.
from the court system.
Yeah,
Can we pull the
He was
stats up?
running.
I think Zeke ran for like over 900 yards last year.
that's cool. But again,
Somebody
10
said-
games.
Yo, Joel said it's a Homer Cowgirl show.
Oh, it's starting early.
It's starting early.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
but
on.
my thing is, what is your quarterback gonna do? Can he get somebody the
hey,
ball?
hey, man.
Yeah, he
Talking about my
gonna
quarterback,
bounce
man.
back.
Talking
Man.
about my quarterback.
Okay, we'll see.
Dak is gonna show you what he the truth, man.
So why y'all got rid of Bryant, man? Dez, man.
You know,
That's what I want to know.
it's a business at the end of the day,
Okay.
man.
So
You know,
next up.
yeah.
That's
they-
a nice PC, and it's a business at the end of the day.
X out throws for Wakanda.
You know,
Shout out to Black Panther. You gonna be all right.
And y'all know what we mean.
Yo, if you want to, you can share this on your Facebook if you want to. I'm just
They
saying.
go to Share Police.
Yo,
We in the building.
Yeah,
You know,
you better do that.
if you want to call in, the number is 1-800-223-9797. That's 1-800-223-9797.
Let's stop giving these people fake numbers,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
yeah.
Call
They
us.
gonna
Sometimes
call
I like
up
tell them
for
why you
Ebro.
mad.
Call, Ebro mad because of Kanye. If you want to call in, man, 216-539-9967. That's 216-539-9967. Holla at your boys.
223-9797.
Best thing I seen though, after the Kanye fiasco, somebody started making hats that said, "Make oxtails cheap again." I need one. I need
I
one.
need that in my
Let's
life.
go.
Kanye is Kanye, man. You know.
Nah,
I'm one of the biggest. I'm one of the biggest Kanye fans ever, man. but-
Listen, Kanye is fully immersed in the sunken place
I don't
right
think he
now.
in the second place.
Nah, and then he got some albums coming out, so I think he milking
Yo,
this shit
for
real
real.
good.
Music wise, he's a genius.
He is milking this shit real good.
Listen, man, there's certain things culturally that you just don't do.
Yeah, but
But how long he been
It's
doing that his
Kanye.
whole
Yeah, he
career?
been doing his whole
He
career,
been doing that
man.
his whole career.
Listen, the George Bush don't like black people. That was okay with us.
But then
Because it was
But
facts.
that was for
facts.
it might have been facts, but
You know what
it
I'm
was
saying?
for attention.
right.
It's for
It was for attention.
All
What he
right.
do for black people sin?
Y'all listen, y'all say what y'all want. I'm just saying. It's
No.
certain things.
No, we agree with you, but
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
I
same
definitely-
time, but at the
agree with
same
you.
He's
time,
controversial.
I'm just
Kanye,
saying.
man.
but
He's
at the same
controversial,
time,
man.
Ruck, guess what? When his
Chill.
album drops and when all them albums that he produced and drop, everybody gonna buy him because people want to see if he's still in sunken place. You know, Kanye West gonna give you that heat.
He gonna give you that. Definitely gonna give
He
you
gonna
that.
definitely give you that, and he gonna talk about it too.
Listen, I miss the old Kanye anyway.
Listen, I
You
had
know
to
what
go
I mean?
listen to the College Dropout the other day. I was on my fuck the police. That's how I treat him. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, this nigga Kanye tripping. He
Yo.
coming out. He ain't got a haircut. This nigga just,
Blonde.
yo, this dude got some there cut off short.
He putting out some horrible sneakers.
Horrible.
You know, he been
Horrible.
putting out horrible sneakers. Though.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, the first round of Yeezys,
Yes.
nah, those
I'm
that's
sorry, I ain't
those
like
are classic.
none.
I love
The
those.
first one, Chris, I
I
thought
love
that
those.
you were like the first one because
first
like,
ones, I
they kind
thought-
of looked like the kick that you like. So I thought like
Nope.
those was dope.
But these rat shoes,
Then these damn old orthopedics. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, what
Yeah.
the
Son.
yo, they make the Monarchs look good, son. Like really.
nigga? They make the N1s look good right
Yo,
now.
but before he even came out with all his controversial tweets, like I ain't fucking with nobody who thinks fashion is holy shirts and
Thank you.
pants and shit like that.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm good. Kanye been off of my I don't give a fuck about what your opinion is as a man.
Yes.
Like he's been off of that. So
Yeah.
him coming, it's like I like Floyd Mayweather a lot, but I don't give a fuck about what Floyd Mayweather thinks about anything.
Right.
Like the old Dave Chappelle line, like let's get our opinion from Ja Rule. I don't give a I don't care. That shit don't like.
Where's Shanti at?
I care about what Ashanti might say
right.
or
you're
be
right.
wearing, but like that, I don't want to hear. Nah, I'm straight. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like if he wants to go that route, I disagree, but I
It
just
didn't
don't.
shock me, but I was just like, really, son? Like you really reaching that far? Like that's
Yeah.
yeah. Like it didn't shock me, but I was like,
But that's him though.
That's
come
that's
on,
it.
yeah.
Kanye is Kanye. You even see him clash out at Hove before and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He tripping.
Well, I mean, he let me tell you something. He was treading real lightly on Beyonce.
Yes.
More
Oh, yeah, nah,
because
he
he
don't-
said he
yeah.
always want Beyonce to win.
Yeah.
He was more like more towards Jay why our kids don't play together and shit like that. I don't think that was directed. I don't think he that stupid.
Nah, he ain't that dumb.
The reason I keep saying the sunken place is this, man. That Kardashian box gotta be. Listen,
Hell.
it ain't got people killed.
But how though?
It done got people.
Who got killed?
OJ did it. Like, I mean, son.
But here's the thing though. But Kim and the Kardashians, they don't fuck with Trump. So like, that's why I don't understand the correlation. Like, they don't fuck with Trump.
They're not gonna say that, and of course they wouldn't. But they got too many black people in their family already to say that openly on the air.
That they fuck with Trump.
Yeah, they
the
just
only
not gonna do
the
it.
only
But I'm
Kardashian
just
that
saying-
fuck with Trump is Caitlyn. That's the only one.
I think he's gonna say Kanye.
Who is she?
Caitlyn probably don't either.
No, but Caitlyn do. Caitlyn, Bruce. He the only because he's a start.
who's
He's a
that?
Again,
he's a hardcore Republican.
Back to
and he said he
the
was.
original point.
Again, like Ruck said,
Whatever
they
fantasies
got
I
niggas
had,
killed. Ain't no more Bruce no more. Bruce dead.
he gone.
Bruce dead.
Yo,
Right, Caitlyn.
Whatever fantasies anybody used to have about any of them Kardashians, please rethink it. Because that's some poom poom. What's Snoop saying that song? That's that box I don't want. I'm good.
Yo, you see Tristan out here tripping.
Yeah, you see him tripping.
First
Yes.
of all,
See Lamar Odom tripping. Like,
Tripping.
Yes. Yes.
Sean McKinn's career never came back.
see what I'm saying?
James Harden got away by
James
getting
He
Harden-
got away. He got away.
James
And you know
Harden
why?
said-
You know
James
what the
Harden
balance
and French
was?
Montana.
It was Amber Rose.
Oh,
Amber
French
Rose is
Montana,
the balance.
yeah, Amber
She
Rose
brought
was
him
the
back.
balance.
She was like, yo,
Balance.
get some of this real. And then, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not doing that.
disagree with you on that point. I just disagree from I won't say that Kanye's in a sunken place because he's being pro-Trump because just from the little residual of the show I see when my girl is watching it, they don't fuck with Trump.
Right.
Heavy. They don't fuck with
And
Trump.
you gotta remember,
So
if you're a millionaire, you want to get them tax breaks.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
listen,
So-
I agree with what y'all said that he's doing it for publicity and things like that. But like I said, I just think there's certain things,
you shouldn't do.
especially for our icons, our superstars, that it makes it hard for them to come back to us. Listen, say what you want, but
Nah,
it
they
got
gonna let
real.
him back.
It got
They gonna let
real.
him back.
It did
They
not
gonna
get real hard for Michael Jackson after he married Lisa Marie.
Nope.
Yeah, yes, it
was
did.
Michael was always
We
Michael,
was
man.
we was looking at Mike like,
No.
all right, Mike,
Yeah, but they still took
all
it back.
right
at
now.
the same, but in the same breath,
Still
they let Mike do a lot of shit that they just
Right.
kind of like R. Kelly. They just be like looking the
listen.
other way. They just,
Listen,
no, but,
listen.
I think
but
R.
he
Kelly
made,
had
but he
the
made
most
seems like
passion.
you're ready though. He made
Listen.
seems like you're ready though.
Listen, he made I Believe I Can Fly. But listen, though. So if you want to check it out, me and Myra, we did a little podcast yesterday. Check it out. We had
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about, are black people too forgiving?
Shout out to Myra.
saying? Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Dot
MVP,
Nisha.
man. MVP, man.
MVP.
It's her, LeBron, and everybody else.
There you go.
True,
See, he
true.
put his girl
Okay.
first. That's right.
Yeah, he ready.
You ready?
He ready.
So on the
Meet
sports
you
tip,
at the
like I was saying, so
some
Chris,
real sports.
so Chris and I, Ruck was busy. I know he been his job. We did like a little NFL post. I think that Chris gave it a C- as far
On
as
what?
the draft
I did.
first round.
Yeah.
Where would you give it?
For all teams?
Yeah, just the first round.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
C-.
Yeah.
How about you, Ruck?
Straight D, and it ain't for D Rock. Straight. Wait. Pause. But I shouldn't say D for D Rock. Nah. But you know what it is? I think, and we just talked about it a little bit. Like to start the draft off the way it did.
that was-
Yeah, man.
That
shit was
came.
crazy.
That wasn't even left field. That was like around the corner in the basement. They was like, yeah, do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think Barkley and his peoples had to say something to Cleveland, man. To be honest with you, they had to-
No.
they had to
Listen,
say something. Because there's no way you do that, man. There's no way you do that.
You know what
Unless
it is.
somebody told you, I don't want to play for your team.
You
That's
know,
the only way. That's the only way how I believe it. man.
I
But it just
personally
looks too
think
crazy.
I
It just
personally
looks too
think
crazy.
that Dorsey and his mad scientist genius and everything that happens in New England and stuff like that, they decided to roll the dice on the quarterback situation, knowing that they have a very good safety net, and then saying, let me stockpile the other positions that I know we need, that at least we could try to make some other type moves. That's why I said to you when we were talking about it, I hated the first pick And even their second pick, young boy from Ohio State, I was like, okay, where'd that come
Denzel
from?
Ward.
Yeah.
And I thought that was
I
I
was
thought
like,
that was a stretch.
where did that come from? But
Not him being taken that early, just for them.
For them.
It's
Yeah.
just like how I don't like Saquon Barkley going to the Giants. I believe he is a great talent,
Mm-hmm.
but the Giants have so many needs. I think it'll hinder Barkley from being able to be the great talent that
What he is.
that he has. You know what I mean? They don't have a line,
Yeah,
period,
they
at
definitely
all.
don't got
At
it.
all.
see,
You
that's-
can't run without one.
Because see, that's the thing. That was the only concerning thing that said, how did the draft start out that way? Because if it's one thing Cleveland could do, even with Joe Thomas retiring, they could run block.
Yes, they could.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's a natural fit. And then for them to get Baker, okay, pass protection really wasn't what they was about. But again, for him to say, let me address these other needs, and then to salvage the whole thing by getting Nick Chubb, I think it's something that was great too. Because now you were able to get what should have been a first round running back in the third round for nothing. You don't have to pay him first round money. You only have to worry about Baker and Ward, and then you still have other pieces. So I like what they did in terms of salvaging it, but to start the draft that way, I thought it was crazy. I thought that domino just it blew everybody off guard.
Right.
Because everybody, and you know, teams going into the draft, you already have A, B, and C, those plans, and what everybody else is going to do after that. So I think they washed all those and was like, okay, now it's panic mode. Because I think even the Giants weren't ready to pick Saquon. Look how long it took them to announce it. Because they was in the war room like, yo, this really happened? Like, they was like, yo, they for real? Like, no, he here. He all the way here? Oh, all right. So I don't know, man. I just think it was crazy, and
I think it was.
but it was a deep draft. It's a deep draft though, in terms of talent. I think it's a very deep draft. Like at other skill positions, like everybody talks about the quarterbacks, but if you talk about linemen that were there, wide receivers that are available, cornerbacks that can play. I mean, you had a draft that had at least 6 or 7 corners that they say could be the nickel corner, a starting corner, or a safety.
Yeah, I'm about to say, or something that could
You know,
jump the
so I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick falling all the way to the Dolphins when they had him projected at 3 to the Jets.
Yeah.
So I think it was something crazy.
Well, the Jets had to take Sam.
Yeah, say his name. Say his name, tough guy.
Darshell. Sam Darnold. I got it.
they
It
had
took me
to-
16
Miro, what
games
up?
to get it.
They had to take the Jets had to take Sam Darnold when he
think so?
fell.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they needed a quarterback, and for them to, I think the Jets said Sam Darnold is their number one.
Yeah.
You know, their number one guy that they want. I think if the Jets had the number one pick, they would have picked Sam Darnold.
I agree.
So
See,
when he
I
was able to
don't-
fall,
I don't though. I think they were going to go with Baker.
Hell.
nah, I don't think so.
I
really
think
don't
they was
he
gonna go
the
with
number
Baker.
one pick. Like, I don't
Listen,
understand.
Not if the Jets were picking number 1, right? If they were picking number 1, I think, okay, now you take Darnold because
To the mic, bro.
he's, he was projected like that. But I think where they were and what they initially thought was going to happen, I think they were fine with Baker being there because they were like, okay. Because remember, all the reports from all the workouts that everybody talked about, they said, okay, he's an accurate passer. He's an accurate passer. He can move the pocket. He can do this. He can do that. The Jets have operated in the system like that already. So they were looking for a guy like him. Or they're banking on Teddy, playing the first 4 or 5 games and then seeing what happens. But I think, again, Cleveland doing what they did changed the entire landscape of everything.
But again, also when you're talking about somebody that changed the narrative of who they were, because again, everybody said, I was Johnny Manziel 2.0. What did he do? He went and got that Brett Favre picture and said, listen, I'm Brett Favre. You need to look at me at Brett Favre.
But you're not though.
We know.
But you're not though.
But
Not
you
at
see how influential that was, and saying, listen, GM, I know y'all think I'm Johnny Manziel. No. I'm like Brett Favre. Look at my tape. Look at Brett Favre's tape. Look at how we take risks. We don't make mistakes. We take risks. And that's what he did to change the GM. So now you got a Cleveland Browns team, like you said, with a new GM. They got a new attitude. And they have a quarterback who can possibly, who is going to start. But also, he can bring Baker in and say,
Yeah.
listen, I'm your guy.
Well, listen, I feel like this, and y'all tell me what y'all feel about it. I think out of all the quarterbacks that they talked about going, right, Baker's team did it the best way possible for him. They didn't have him go. They told him to stay home. Look at the shirt that he had on when he was like when they were interviewing him, right? All the teams that they talked to, they all got the same thing. Oh, this is a great kid. He could do this. He could do that. That always debated the original persona that he's an asshole,
Right.
he's a jerk, he's cocky, he can't handle himself.
Changing that
So
narrative.
they changed everything by saying, you know what, we're not even gonna let you go to New York. You gotta be home.
Yes.
Right? We listen, even to the point where you dress, we want you to look like you just came out the gym.
Right.
Right? But then Darnold, and that's the thing, Darnold and even Rosen, I think they got up there and they looked everything that people probably
Yes.
said about him,
Yes.
they looked that way, and especially Rosen. Rosen put himself in a tough
And then
position
you seen that
already.
NFL, trying to
Yeah.
what destination to Dallas that the NFL Network's doing.
Yeah.
You saw how he is. Like I didn't see the movie. What you say? What is it called? Draft Day.
You see
Yeah.
that, Chuck?
He used to.
What'd you say, Natcha?
No.
Ha ha. Ha ha.
Yeah, see, I can't wait. So, but like you said, so that just changing that perspective and your perception. Like, listen, I would love to go to Dallas, but I'd rather be with my family. And the next time I see my team is when we are in training camp and when I've introduced them to him. And then also they put out where he was like, where he chose his jersey. He's like, listen, I haven't chosen my jersey since high school. Oh, go ahead, pick. Oh man, this is a humbling experience. Now you got everybody like, oh man, this kid not that bad. Yes, he is. First of all, he went to Texas Tech. He didn't, you know what I mean? They didn't want his ass. He got tackled by the cops. If you can't get away from them cops, them DNs gonna tear your ass up. Okay, I'm letting you know that right now. Now listen, I am being facetious. I am, joking. But I do wish him much success. But the feel good story of the whole draft was there was two. Okay.
Okay, what you got?
Let's talk about the feel-good story of the Dallas Cowboys being the Dallas Cowboys, baby. There we go. There we go.
Wait,
there
yo,
we go.
we need these drops of the gunshots in the Harlem Night joint. We need all that.
We got that inside linebacker coming out of Boise State, man.
Oh, you need a Remy Ma drop right there.
Let me see if I got you. Let me see. Hold on, wait. I got you, though. I got you, though. Yo, this dude played 8-man football in Idaho. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know who the hell he was. And then he looks like, what's his name? Tommy Gunn from Rocky 5. You know what I mean?
He
Dude
said
was
Tommy
clearly
Gunn. Yo, what time at,
on
man?
some,
we need time on right now.
He dearly was. I mean, come on. And Chris, he didn't want to dress it, but he was clearly on some celebration crackle. You know what I mean? When he hit the podium,
Did he do
What
sound
if he
effects?
prove everybody wrong? What about next summer?
he won't.
He proved us all
He's
wrong.
a Cowboys. He won't.
Chris,
He'll
did he,
get like 100
Chris, did he
tackles
just
and
say
prove us all wrong.
he on Booger Sugar?
He said he on that booger sugar, that white
What
horse.
we gonna do? What we do if he get 100 tackles a season?
He gonna have to. He ain't got no choice.
But the problem I have with them picking him is that there was better inside linebackers
Yes.
available.
Yes.
I personally
Yeah,
think
I
Shaquem Griffin was a better
Yes.
linebacker
Yes.
Here we go.
than him. But
Did he get drafted?
yeah, he got drafted in the
By the
third
Seahawks.
round by the Seahawks.
Oh, all right.
But even more
Got it,
pressing
got it.
to me with Dallas is you had the chance
Yes.
to get Calvin Ridley
I know,
after
man,
you had
I
just
know.
given up. I mean, Calvin Ridley at the pro level is going to be another. Like, they don't throw at Alabama.
I know,
They
man.
don't.
I
And
want to Ridley, man. I want
Ridley
Ridley
was
bad, man.
again, and it's how I feel about the Cleveland Browns. You had a layup
Yep.
with nobody around,
Yep.
This was.
and you blew it.
You took a fadeaway 3.
This was.
I
this
wanted
was-
Ridley, man.
This
I
was.
can't, man.
This was
I-
every Cowboys reaction to that.
You gotta say Carolina messed up too. They could have had Ridley also.
That's all y'all was saying. Y'all. I love how you try to smooth it over. Like, yeah, you know.
Well, listen, I give Cowboys one thing. Fuck coming to the fold, they good. They Hall of Famer now.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, we got
Yes.
nothing but high hope. But when they go home and they lay down, they be like, man, fuck. Some bullshit, man. I can't believe Jerry Jones did this to me again. Fuck
Dallas.
him.
All Dallas fans say is, That's what he said. Another one.
Somebody was like, hey, Jerry, don't you need a nap right now or something? Right?
Nah, about Dallas
I
Cowboys.
want to really.
I know,
I
yo,
want him back.
everybody was like, "Oh, Calvin really done fell."
Like,
and
yes,
then what
Dallas
did they do?
about to do it.
And I said this when we did our show, when we did it after the draft.
Right.
I said they let Atlanta
Oh
Mike,
my
what
God.
up?
get Calvin
Yes.
Ridley.
Yes.
They let Matt Ryan
Yes.
get
Another weapon.
another receiver that he does not deserve. That he does not deserve. He gets another one. Because he doesn't deserve. Julio doesn't deserve to have to play with a trash ass quarterback like Matt Ryan. He don't deserve that. Okay? And now Calvin really got to suffer the same fate.
Yo, listen, even when
Nah,
Goodell
it's
was
true,
reading it,
man.
he was like, Dallas Cowboys select. The fuck? He didn't even know what to say. He was like, everybody knew. I was like, all right, Dallas going to do it this year. Okay, now I see why they got rid of Jazz.
Goodell was like, is he sure?
Is he sure?
Is he sure? Okay.
Jerry.
All right.
And then again, and I haven't seen the Jerry Jones interview, but you know what he's gonna say. Shouts out to Tom. Tom does the best Jerry Jones impression. He gonna be like, well, you know, Dallas Cowboys, we went for who we thought would be best in that position. Inside linebackers when we need them. If you look at 1992 when we had
Jerry, sleep, yo.
when we had what's that boy named Kenny Norton. Kenny Norton,
Yeah,
he
boy.
was good. We had Charles. What's the
So,
other name?
besides Dallas, right?
The Ravens. Okay, besides
Who-
the Ravens.
No,
I like
besides
okay.
Dallas, who surprised y'all with just like besides Dallas and Cleveland? Who surprised y'all and saying like, yo, did they really just do that?
I tell you what surprised me, and I'll get right back to that. I tell you what surprised me the most.
Okay.
Ryan Shazier coming out.
Yo.
It surprised me for two reasons.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
he
I
was
see
over
It
there.
surprised me
Gotta
for
clap
two
it up
reasons.
for Ryan, man.
One was,
Got you, man.
yeah, for real. One was,
Yeah.
I was so happy to
Yeah.
see him walk out on that stage. That's
See,
the
his-
first.
He was kind of struggling, but he made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy to see him be able to walk because that was a
Yeah.
scary injury that he
Yeah.
took.
Yeah.
The second thing, so I was like, oh, I'm so happy to see him. And then secondly, I was sad because I said, he ain't playing football again.
Yeah.
He ain't playing football again.
he not.
I don't see it. I mean, prayers up to him. Bless his
Yeah.
heart. I hope it's some type of miracle happens. I don't see it, man.
I don't see it.
You know-
I don't.
You know, I
It made me. First of all,
As a Buckeye, yeah.
and then to have to go out like that, I just hate it. I hate it.
what I did take from it was not only just happiness and seeing him walk. The other part of it is, I just think this way. We've seen over the past, I would just say 7 years, we've seen some of the scariest injuries happen in football and basketball.
Yeah.
And for people to be able to come back and do, like, I never thought that I would see Kevin Ware play basketball again. I never thought I would see Paul George play basketball again, much less call himself playoff P. So we never
get to that.
we
Oh,
never
yeah,
we'll definitely get to that.
yeah,
We never know what can happen, but I think in the big picture of things, that man walking. So
Yeah, listen, I was.
That's it.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you right.
I
Praises
was
due.
so happy to
You know
see
what
him
I mean?
walk. I was like, man, and he came out with his fiance that's been with him through, all of this and everything. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, that jacket was fire too.
Yeah.
That jacket
Yeah.
was fire.
that
cold.
watch was fire.
That
too.
watch was fire too. And I was like, you know what, man? I'm glad to see, he's on the road to recovery.
Yes.
But being on the road to recovery to be able to walk normal and play football again,
Yeah.
Right.
those are two
It's
different
just,
things.
it's just the road to recovery. But you know what I do love that's even bigger than that? I know that he's going to be fine because I know what type of first-class organization the Steelers are.
Yes.
Oh, they gonna
And
take
they
care of
will
him.
make sure that he's taken care of.
Yes. Now
So-
again, but that's when you look at football. You say, you know what? This is where you enjoy life the most.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
This is where you say, you know what? We love football, but he's still in that family. We
Yeah,
know that
yeah.
they're gonna take care of him. But also, I don't know if you guys seen, but I posted it. I forgot dude's name, but from the Buffalo Bills, he's like one of those. He got like a little poncho hat on, and I mean his sombrero hat. And long story short, Andre Reed came to the podium and he shouted him out. He was like he was battling cancer, and they let him call the next pick. And I was like, you know what I mean? So sports bring that out of you. You know what I mean? Like I said,
sports is life,
of course,
man.
we would love to see him play football again, but just that he's walking.
Yeah.
Like, just the small things in life that you can enjoy.
That shocked the mess out of
Right.
me, man. I was like,
Right.
whoa.
Okay. You know
I
what
said,
I
my
mean?
man,
Yes.
yeah.
And then he didn't hide it. He's like, listen, this is what it is, but I'm walking.
Yeah.
And I'm showing you that if I could do it, you could do it. You know what I mean? That was the field goal story.
Dope.
Another field goal story was Lamar Jackson. Like, for the Ravens to say, listen, let us get him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, again, I don't care I didn't care where he went. I'm just glad that somebody gave him a shot. Man.
Free Kodak.
Yeah.
Right, because
Free Kodak Black.
you know what I mean?
Free Kodak.
Because he probably could have went up a little higher.
He should have.
I thought he was a top 10, man.
Me too.
But this is the thing, and this is the tricky thing about the NFL that's different than the NBA. You can fall and still end up in the
Right.
best possible
That's true.
situation for you.
Aaron
Right?
Rodgers.
Yep.
Aaron
We
Rodgers,
was watching
like,
that, yeah.
but for him, Baltimore,
Tom
you talk
Brady.
about a system. Hey,
Yeah.
you right. I can't even. But for him to fall to Baltimore, to end up in that system, to end up in that type of culture,
Yes.
right? Again, you're talking about a young man that's not only going to be given the keys to the franchise, I would say in the next year, maybe two, but it's a great situation, and it's a situation that he can really thrive in. It's not a huge city that you can get into all this trouble in. I mean, you can go to the wire, but I'm just saying, Ray still got some people on them corners, so he be straight. But I just think it was a great situation. You know what I took away from it? Goodell must have been talking to our man Adam Silver, because the NFL did some dope stuff in this
Yes,
draft
yes.
that I've never seen them do, and I was like, yo, the video messages that they was getting from their parents.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was ill, man. Because
And,
that one
how they incorporating the fans into it
Yo.
more. You know what I mean?
that was
And-
dope. They had a high school team announce
yeah.
the Miami Dolphins pick today. I thought that was real dope. So it's turning around, man. But yeah, Lamar ending up there. I even like Geis ending up in Washington. I mean, even though with all the stories that went around, I like that. I like Lamar ending up where he ended.
The Patriots, I think that they got to steal. I won't say steal, but they got a good back.
You know why? I never, because the Patriots know what they're doing. You know, I think one of the free agent things that happened that I think people are really gonna have to pay attention to during the season. Jeremy Hill going there. You know, people. That's
New England?
that's a young back that can run the rock. That came off of, probably an injury-plagued season, but the season before, you talking about he was one of the top rushers in the league. So
Who, Jeremy Hill?
yeah.
Hell.
From Cincinnati. Yes, you are. Okay, listen.
You
What?
talking about that same
listen.
running back from Cincinnati?
Okay, so listen though. You say that. What did people say about Corey Dillon when he went to New England?
He was not no Corey Dillon, though. Jeremy Hill was
But
not no Corey
I
Dillon.
understand that.
wasn't no Corey Dillon.
But what did they say about Corey Dillon? They said this dude is done. He not gonna give you nothing.
I got you, bro.
Who? Terry Rozier. I don't even know.
Terry Rozier.
I hope you feel like that tonight.
Yeah,
I hope you feel like
Yeah.
that tonight.
yeah. He
You know
better
what?
get to
I
that.
just want to get right into the playoffs. 'Cause
Let's do it.
I was
Yo,
watching.
you gotta do commercials because we ain't doing last week neither.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You gotta hit
I'll
hit
get him up.
those.
I'll get him up.
You gonna get them up? All right.
All right, so
Well, go right
Not
into
now,
it, Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
So
Because I don't even know who you talking about.
I'm watching this Utah OKC game, and it's a good.
Oh, you just going? I'm gonna take my headphones.
It's
off.
a good game. It's competitive. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Donovan Mitchell.
Oh,
Chris,
my
don't
God. Yo.
Thanos me, Chris.
Yo,
Don't
I
do it, Chris.
am so sick and tired of Russell Westbrook.
Oh, my
tired, sick and tired. Yo,
Okay.
80
Let's
shots
go.
in 2 games?
go.
He scored 46 points, took 46 shots last night.
43.
No. Some of them
43.
Some of them threes that he took count as two, because them shits was ridiculous. Them shits was ridiculous.
Yo, but this is what I say. And anybody in the situation, you got to look at it this way. If Melo is 2 for 7 with 2 points, if Paul George in a game 6
2 for 16.
is
2 for 16?
4 for 16 for 5 points,
No.
what?
Two.
Two.
He was 2
Okay,
for 16.
so 2.
I'm gonna get
What
on.
are we doing?
I'm gonna get on playoff.
What are we
P.
doing?
I'm gonna get on playoff P. Believe me. I'm
Listen,
gonna get on playoff P and his non
I'm
showing up. So,
gonna put it like this, and I'm jumping in on this. Say what you want about my man, but in the moments that he needs to be there, he's there. No matter, I don't care. I don't care. You can hit me with the Mamba, all that, the buzzer. Listen, He's there to try to win the game.
He was trying to do something.
He definitely was.
He was
Russ, he was trying to get us back to OKC
trying to shoot
for a game.
Trying to shoot you out the game. I
We ain't talking about practice. We talking about a game.
Yo.
If it wasn't for
I
him,
think he took more shots than the whole combined
Steve.
team.
I think
He probably did. He probably did.
I'm not gonna kill him too bad for shooting as much as he did, but come on, like
Yo, listen, and Chris, I agree, but this is what I'm saying. In terms of down 3-2, trying to tie it up, trying to get a game 6, and then he took 43 shots and we only lost by 5, right? It ain't like we got blown out.
Well, he
but
took
again,
43. You gonna make some of them.
but the other 2 dudes ain't hit nothing.
You gotta take 40 shots. I might put up 20.
Yeah,
From
I
that-
if I
listen,
get 40 shots.
Yeah, if I think
Listen,
so, yeah.
it looked like there was one point during the game where Melo, him, and Paul was sitting at the scores table. Melo looked like they just told him that, yo, in the opening scene of Power, Tommy about to just go all in on your girl again.
Raw dog.
And he ain't pulling out. Like, that's how Melo's face was. Paul was sitting there like, yo, they said that flight to L.A. leave in like 10 minutes. Yo, but it's 10 minutes left in the game. It leaves in 10 minutes. So,
Nah, he definitely was sitting up on the thing.
Oh,
Yo, somebody
man.
got some more Gatorade. I need some of that flow.
look.
He ain't having
Wait,
flow.
what did you say? Wait. Yeah.
Now we see why KD was so damn happy.
Yo, you see why KD? Yo, do you see KD warming up before a Warriors game? He's doing like weird dances and shit. That's a happy motherfucker. Yes. All right.
Yo.
KD is a happy guy.
Yo, man.
Listen,
OKC. I will take it. I'm going to take it.
KD
I'ma
watching
take
that game like, yeah, y'all niggas thought I was crazy.
I'm telling you. And everybody just goes, and this is what I don't like. Everybody goes, oh, man, that's just Russ. Stop babying him, yo. Like, it's like they got their kid gloves. Like, you can't say nothing too damning because it's going to hurt Russ' feelings. And then he's a sore loser on top of it.
Yeah, he over there
Walking
arguing.
up, fam.
Oh my God.
That's what first of all, Paul George, Carmelo, Steven Adams, they all listen, man. Congratulations on winning. Take it to Houston next round. Blah blah blah. Yo, he lose. He's just out. I get it, right? You super competitive and all that shit. Yo, Jordan lost to Orlando. He stuck around to say, yo, congrats, man. Like, have some type of
Because
sportsmanship.
Jordan said, I'm going to be back and killing y'all niggas for another 3 years.
Yo, at least give me that though.
Yo,
give me that.
yo,
Y'all got this one.
Everything-
Next
listen,
year, I'm gonna kill y'all.
Everything that y'all are saying is absolutely right. I think, again, continuing with what he's doing, this is the growing pains. But again, like me and Quet was talking about too, I think the difference in this situation in terms of Russ and where he is in his transition is they still have not had a system that has told him, has dictated to him, listen, you need to do X, Y, and Z first
Really listen,
before you put. Well, I think what has to happen, and I think what's gonna happen, is just like with all of them. At some point, when you get tired of losing, you go and figure out, okay, yeah, I do need to listen. Cause listen, James got tired of sitting on the bench. What he do? I'm gonna go beat him in. KD got tired of clapping twice to the ball. What he do? I'm out. Right?
Clap on that ass for real.
Melo got tired of, got to make it right with Oak. He bounced. So, I mean, he has to get that. But, again, I'm not making any excuses. Yes, you need to stay around and congratulate. Yes, you need to especially congratulate Donovan Mitchell because not only did he take it to you, he took it to everybody else that y'all switched off for him.
Donovan
Right?
Mitchell.
You got to give him that. You got to give Utah the props for doing what they did.
This is why, to me, Donovan Mitchell should be the rookie of the year.
Exactly.
He should be.
Because first of all, he a
He
real
should
rookie.
He should
He a
be.
real rookie. He ain't a redshirt rookie. He a real
He
rookie.
should be.
And
playing
again,
like
like somebody else, I can't remember. I can't give. I like to give credit when I hear it on somebody else's show.
I probably said it. Go ahead, give it to me.
Okay, fine. Yo,
Shout out
you
to Quit.
can't give him the rookie of the year and say he leading the team, Ben Simmons, when he not even the best player on that team.
Exactly.
Embiid, you seen when Embiid came back. Oh, okay. Yo, Ben, you special. That's the best player on the team right there.
Yep.
Joel
Wow.
Embiid.
And I don't even like him.
And I don't even like him.
I don't even like him,
I'm
but
not a
I,
fan.
I trust the
Embiid?
process.
Yeah, I'm not
I
a
do
fan.
not like him.
Why
But I
not?
trust the
I'm-
process.
I'm just not a fan, but I can not be a fan and go, but yo, he legit. That's 7'2" dude that can pull up on you and shoot threes and back you down and play defense and can score, but
Yeah.
his money that he's making is because he's a defensive player. But he could drop 40 on you.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
I
You
respect
gotta,
the talent.
you gotta
I
give
gotta
credit.
respect it.
You know what I think?
It's not
For
good.
What
me,
makes y'all not like him? That's my question.
Embiid,
it's not-
personality.
Embiid is like John Stockton to me. Gotta respect the game, but I never liked him.
Right, exactly.
Gotta respect the game. That's what it
Great
is.
analogy.
But listen, OKC is going to be in this boat until Sam Presti figures out that he needs a coach that has a stronger personality than the players that he has on the team.
Now, would
Donovan,
that
I
work?
thought was a.
Me too.
I
Hmm?
thought
I
Donovan.
thought
he had
that
a
Donovan
strong-
was going to be able to, formulate them and put them.
How he was in Florida with Joe Kim and them.
But that's that's different. That's a college team.
See, and that's
You know
the
what I'm
thing.
saying?
But I think that is when you are a player, it's called maturation. You gotta be able to say, whoever come in, I need to work with them as my
Yeah.
coach and respect that. But if you Russ and then you like, no, you're coming to my team, it's different though. You know what I mean? And then also for Russ,
we'll say that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but let's say this: in all the stuff that he's done, in what is perceived as his jerk mannerisms or whatever, understand this: I don't think there's ever been a situation where Russ has said that this is my team, this is how I want things to go. I think what Russ has done is what a lot of professional athletes should do, especially basketball players. He worked his tail off to put himself in that
Right.
position of where he is now.
no.
So that's something that
Listen,
he's just not
nah,
giving up.
I'm not saying that he's saying that per se, but I'm talking about as far as his attitude, as far as his persona. And I think that again, once he, maturate and say, listen, I need help, and this is what I think we can do, and this is what I think how we can win. Because listen, I'm not mad at him for doing what he's doing because he's like, listen, I gotta win. But I think that what Russ needs to do, and it shows in his interviews, is that he needs to stop listening to the media and play. Because if you ever hear him be like, they always say, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, who else going to get the rebound? Listen, Russ, stop that. Don't listen to that. You play your game. If you got to get a triple-double to win, do what you need to do. But even like Kobe, I didn't like Kobe. Uh-oh, we got a call.
Oh, who calling in?
Thanks for tuning in to the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? My name is Mark, calling from Dallas, Texas.
What's up,
Oh.
Mark?
What's going on, Mark?
Can I assume you a Cowboy fan?
Yes, sir.
That's
Oh,
right. That's
oh,
right, Mark.
he-
That's
he
right,
He is
brother.
helping handle
Sorry
the
to hear
block.
that.
That's right, brother. That is right.
Guys,
What's
speak your
going on,
mind, man.
Mark?
I mean, the NBA, I don't understand how you can be injured your whole rookie season and it can be considered a rookie still in your
Clap it up for Mark, please.
Thank you, Mark.
Give Mark that understanding. Mark, you smart.
I'm a huge Dallas Mavericks fan also, but
Mm.
Rookie of the Year to Donovan Mitchell. I mean, dude's just putting up crazy playoff numbers. Like,
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Like, how do you not give it to him? And what he's doing against a great Russell Westbrook team. I mean, look, they got 3 All-Stars.
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
shining.
he had 2.5.
I would say 2 All-Stars.
Okay, all right, okay.
Me too.
Okay,
I think Melo's kind of washed at this point.
okay,
I
okay.
I
agree.
guess you could say that.
Damn. Talking about my Melo.
Too, but
Oh.
I mean, that whole OKC thing doesn't work with Westbrook taking 40 shots a game.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
Man, that's too much.
If it's something that we said when the when
I
the team
agree.
first got formed, I was like, this is not a pickup basketball league.
Yes.
I mean, yes, they got 3 guys that can score that are talented, but this is the NBA, and as everybody should judge everything in the NBA, are they good enough to beat the Warriors? Nope. So no, I'm good. I'm straight. Yeah, I'm good with them. Don't need them.
I already knew that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not using the players correctly as they should. Like,
Yes.
Steven Adams is arguably one of the best big men. in the
Yes.
NBA.
Yes, he is.
And he hardly gets any touches on offense.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You're right.
Yeah, you already know he's not gonna get touches in that.
It's just like pick and rolls or maybe like a lob to the rim. I mean, they don't try to move around. They create mismatches. They just want to ISO with like Westbrook or Melo the whole game. And
So let me ask you this: do you think that's a byproduct of coaching, or is that just the players?
it's got to be a little bit of both. But I want to say mostly coaching because I mean, you're the coach. You can't just let your guys do whatever they want. The whole series. I mean, it clearly wasn't working the first couple games. You got to change up something, coaching wise, defensively. Maybe put some new, fresher legs out there. I mean, you can't just let them play 30-plus minutes each and expect to win.
True. Right.
I agree. I mean,
We're
listen.
talking about that all
Yeah,
year.
we've been talking about it all year. I mean, listen, from a talent standpoint, yes, they got, 3 talented guys. 2 in their prime. Melo, I agree, has been out. The jab step has been outdated for a long time at this point. But
Dang, now you're
it's-
talking about his jab step.
Yeah, you see what happens with teams that try to form big threes kind of like too late into their careers, like the Miami Heat thing with LeBron, how, he was saying they were going to win, 6 titles or whatever.
Hey, Mark. Hey, listen, watch your mouth now.
Oh, yeah, we got a LeBron homer here.
Yeah.
We got a LeBron homer.
So, Mark, keep talking that stuff you talking.
I don't mean to offend LeBron.
Oh, offend away, Mark, please.
Nah, it's all good, Mark. Go ahead.
But no, I mean, I got to give the Cavaliers or LeBron at least credit because this is the worst Cavs team that he's possibly led to the playoffs. What, in 2007?
2007.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty bad.
He's playing phenomenal, but
Kevin Love, who used to be a freaking monster down in Minnesota, 10 points, averaging less than 10 points a game.
Yeah,
Like,
disgusting.
Yeah.
But again, Mark, something that we've talked about ad nauseum, really, it was
That boy nice.
it was that, when Kevin Love was in Minnesota, he was in a lot of games that were blowouts. And he got a lot of a lot of those
Yep, I
stats
do
when the
remember
game was
I do remember. He was getting like
Kinda
20s
over.
and 20s. Yeah.
a lot of garbage time.
kind of stats team.
Yeah, a lot of garbage
Listen,
time.
a
Not
lot
that
of
it's not
stat
good,
padding.
though. Yeah, it's not that Kevin Love is not good, though. He is really good, but, you got this idea. Everybody had this idea of Kevin Love. He's a 2020 guy. But then when you start dissecting, you go, when they were in games and it was close, was he a 2020 guy? Or was he just a regular guy? You know what I mean? Or did he get to 20 when Minnesota was already losing by 40 and he's still in the game and they're going against
Straight
Scrubs?
away.
But listen, the thing about that point too is, and this is why I kind of took a little bit of exception to what LeBron was saying about Kevin Love in the press conference last night. The thing about it is, with his style of play, he never makes his stretch four look good. Think about it. Think about the Miami days too, right?
Yeah.
Chris Bosh was an all-star,
Yeah.
a 25 a game all-star before he
Leading
got
his team to the playoffs.
before he got to
Legit.
Miami,
Yes.
right? And then he goes to 15, 17 points.
25 and 10.
It's the style of play.
Yeah.
So, again, I think the Cavs don't have what they were trying to get, which is a lot of shooters.
Right.
Because besides Kyle, who's been consistent throughout the whole year, right? JR has been streaky. Rodney Hood has not produced what they thought he would produce. Jordan Clarkson got warm early,
Right.
and now is in another slump. So everything that they thought they had, it's not there
not
anymore.
clicking, yeah.
So when you got a young team like Indiana that has a mix of youth, a mix of some veterans, but then you got to think about it too. I think if you look at the collection of players that they have on their team, right, from Oladipo, from Lance Stevenson, from Thaddeus Young, from Miles Turner, even right. These are all even Collison, even Derek Collison. These are all players that have been shipped around from team to team to team,
Right.
and all players that have unrealized potential. And now they tired of hearing of it. So now they got the chance.
They got the confidence.
Yeah,
They got the
yeah.
confidence, too.
I want to see the King.
Listen, I kind of want the Cavs to be out of this mug.
Oh, and your boy got dunked on last night too.
Sorry.
Please don't try to run from that. Your boy got dunked on. Worse than John Starks did.
Stop playing, man.
John Starks and Michael Jordan. Your boy got dunked on. 2 hands, Wakanda forever. I'm putting my head shot down.
He'll be all right. It's all right. But Mark, we just want to thank you for
Cool,
calling
just
in,
do
man.
this.
You know, next week we're gonna be at the same
Yes,
time,
sir, yeah.
2 o'clock Central for you.
He's
So,
a Cowboy fan, though, right? I don't think I
Oh
heard
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
he's a Cowboys fan. You know what
He
I
said he
mean?
was a
So-
Maverick. so.
Listen, he a Cowboys fan, but he taking it just like y'all in midseason. We're gonna take it one game at a time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one pick at a time.
All right, Mark. Thank you, man.
All right, Mark.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Appreciate it, fellas. Y'all have a
I'm sorry.
Wow, you just hanging
My
up on
bad.
folks
Nah,
like that.
my bad.
Okay, old man Ebro.
Hold on. Premature.
That was for that LeBron comment.
Don't ever play yourself.
Nah, man. Thanks for calling, Mark,
yeah.
man. We
Appreciate it, Mark.
My bad, Mark. But yeah, I mean, listen. It is. I mean, I'm glad that the Pacers are playing tough. You know what I mean? Because I think that like everybody thought. I think that they, like you was always saying that the Cavs need to go younger, they need to go longer, and they just not work. It's just not working out. And listen, let's just get out of this. Let's just get out of this.
Well, listen though. Here's the thing. With one game left to decide the series, I'm going with LeBron.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm going with
home.
LeBron.
We all are.
At home,
They taking that.
But I would not be surprised if they lost. I would not be surprised if they lost. But if you're telling me who am I going to pick, one game, take all.
all right.
But, he's going to take off like 35, 40.
Yeah, he's going to start the game crazy.
He is, but
But
at
here's
the
the
same
thing.
time, but who's
Who
going
to help them?
Who's gonna help?
That's
Yo,
why they got a
but-
chance.
But see, this is why, and I know I'm going to sound real crazy for saying this.
You are.
This is why I like the team that they had prior to the trade in this situation better than what they have now. Because if you look at that team not only had toughness in Jay Crowder, right? Had another proven scorer in IT. You had Dwayne Wade that been there.
Right.
You had people that he can defer to, especially with D Wade, that he trusts and can get things done. So,
But Ruck, everything that you said that they needed, they got.
but
they were
I
listening
don't
to
know
you.
if they was going to make it there,
but it's what he asked for though.
Right. But they were
This
listening
is
to
what
you.
he
Ruck.
asked for.
They
No,
were listening to you.
they wasn't listening to me.
Everything that you said that the Cavs should get, they got.
Let me
Well,
tell you.
this-
Let me tell you like this. If they was listening to me, LeBron would look like Reggie from when Spice Adams do Reggie with the Beijing. LeBron would look like that if they was listening to me.
Listen, man.
Because whoever his barber is right now,
Listen, Indiana.
you need to be fired.
Indiana could win this game if they do what they just, for some reason, they don't like to do, even though it's very successful, is get the ball down low. I swear.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
time. First of all,
Yes.
Sabonis out there looking like his daddy.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Looking like his daddy down low.
You better call him baby
What team
Sabonis.
did he play for again?
Who?
His father.
Oh,
Portland.
Portland.
Okay, all right.
You know we did.
Okay.
You
Jail
know we
Blazers.
did.
Jail Blazers
The
edition.
Jail Blazers. edition.
So he was
yeah.
he was a Russian thug.
Yeah.
Oh,
First,
right.
he,
Assassin.
I mean, Sabonis was the first big man we seen coming up and popping threes.
Yeah.
And hitting them.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
jump, but was hitting them. Okay?
And he'll take a swing at your ass quick.
Yo, he was the only one
With
that
the
could.
little arm break.
Yo, he was the only one that could put body on Shaq.
Yep.
He was the only one that could.
Yep.
'Cause he was.
like 40.
Yo,
Yep.
we got. I don't want to get into a Sabonis thing, but we got Sabonis when
was
he
30.
was past,
Yes.
way past his prime,
And he
and
still
he was
putting
still
numbers
dominant
up.
in the
he was lit,
NBA.
man.
You know, but contracts, overseas stuff. But anyway,
KGB issues. You know.
Chuck said it the best when they played Game 5. Chuck was like, Indiana could win this game. They just keep jacking up threes.
Yes.
He's like, yo, they not hot and they jacking up threes and they up by 8. Pound the
They
pound
better-
the middle.
they
What
better
your,
pound
what
the
your
middle.
daddy always used to tell you when you get a girl? Pound the middle.
You stupid.
Pound the middle.
But even with Turner, though, it's
He
like,
said,
yo.
what your daddy
like,
always tell you.
You stupid. But even with Turner's like, listen, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Who gonna stop me?
Listen,
Who
they
gonna
have
stop me?
they have a lot of proven scorers on the block. You got Turner, you got Thaddeus Young, you got Sabonis.
They do,
You got
yeah,
you
they
have.
do.
I mean, listen. Even say what you want, you could joke about Trevor Booker could get buckets down there for you if you need.
Good though.
Yeah.
So they got everything that they would need in this situation. It's just about, okay, who's gonna, it all has to come together for them.
But that always
Don't
been
go
the
star for
Cavs
star.
weakness, right?
Nate
Don't go star for star
Yeah.
in this game because LeBron gonna outstar you. If
Easy.
Nate McMillan puts together a game plan and they stick to it, and then you gotta let Lance be Lance.
Yep.
That's the only way you're gonna
Got
be.
to.
That's the only way Lance is gonna be good.
Listen,
You gotta let Lance be
Lance,
Lance.
got to come out the locker room.
Yeah. You got
Brooklyn in the house. You know what I mean?
Born ready.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And but again, I think that's been the Cavs' weakness for the past few years. Like they just can't down low. They just cannot defend. You know what I mean? Like
To make them pay.
and
Make 'em pay.
exactly, and that's what Golden State did, and that's what when the team's playing the Cavs, like down low, take the ball. What Tristan gonna do?
So-
Nothing.
So let me ask this then. So we're looking at all this stuff, right? In a what seems to be a perfect situation that's shaping up for the Sixers, right? Do they really present Golden State or Houston a problem?
The Sixers?
Yeah,
I mean, like a real problem?
Yeah.
Or like just on paper problem?
like a real problem.
No.
Nah.
No.
Nah, not yet. No.
No.
Okay. Do the Pelicans pose a problem to Golden State right now?
No.
No.
And again, and I'm going directly against my boy.
Rajon Rondo is rolling over his grave right now.
I'm going directly against my boy Max Kellerman. But even without Steph, which I do think Steph's going to play tonight. I do think
If
Steph's
not
going to
tonight,
play.
he's gonna play a game.
If he don't play tonight, he definitely playing the next game. But they got him as probable for this game. Yeah, I think he playing tonight. But he did say that they wanted to be smart about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a slight chance that if they don't play him tonight and
Because
they
he just
blow the
practiced
doors
yesterday,
off.
right?
No, he practiced a couple days ago. He practiced yesterday, but then he practiced full practice a couple days ago as well. So, and this would be 5 weeks out from the injury, and it's supposed to be a 4 to 6 week injury. So this is right in the, maybe he could turn it over. Let's see how much trouble we really in. Right. But even without Steph, I love Anthony Davis. They can't stop him. They couldn't stop him when they swept the Pelicans a couple years ago. Yeah, they couldn't stop Anthony Davis. That's not going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they couldn't stop him then. They won't be able to stop him now.
Okay.
What I'm getting confused with people is, and I like Holiday. Holiday is very, very good. But when they smoked out my Portland Trailblazers, you're talking about 6'1", 6'2" guards that Drew Holiday was eating up. I don't care what they say. Holiday, I can guarantee you he's not dropping 40 on Klay Thompson. And he not dropping 40 on Sean Livingston. We're talking about 2 6'7", 6'8" guards. Yeah. He's not bigger, he's not stronger. He might be a little faster than Klay, but he's not bigger, he's not stronger. So he's not going to be able to bully him like he was McCollum and Dame Lillard. That's not happening. As much as he was putting the clamps down on Dame and McCollum, you're not putting the clamps down on Klay because he can shoot, he can rise up over you. It's nothing. So the aspect of that Holiday is going to be, he might play well during the series. I'm not saying he won't. But that he's going to play as well as he did against Portland? No, not going to happen. Rondo, playoff Rondo is a real thing. I'm not going to dispute that. Playoff Rondo is a real thing, and Rondo will be as successful as he could possibly be in this scenario. But what you don't have to worry about from Rondo is a scoring threat. So for that much, I'm going Anthony Davis. The way I'm looking at it, I'm going Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday against Durant and Klay. I'm picking Durant and Klay.
Easy.
I'm picking Durant and Klay.
Now I just want to go to these commercial breaks real quick. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Playoff P won't be back.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Rush, you heard him? They call him Playoff P now.
God damn. Playoff P. I want him to come back.
If Bron go there? Because if he go there, he gonna have to play off the ball. Like he's not gonna be able to. Nah, they need him.
I think at this point, LeBron don't care. Like, listen,
You think he gonna leave Cleveland again?
Dan Gilbert trying to sell the team anyway.
I think he gonna. I don't know. I think he might stay. I think they definitely gonna make moves. They gonna make moves in the offseason. They gonna try to get people over there. I think they got rid of all their big contracts. It's only Bron and Kevin Love that got a contract over there.
Tristan.
Oh yeah. Who? Nah, they signed him for something crazy. I know Tristan signed something crazy. I know Kevin Love.
the boxing, Chris, man. I want you to put us up on some boxing. And your guys, and just some boxing in general, man. Like just yeah. We need because it's a lot of good fights coming up, man. From what I'm hearing, so. Welcome back to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for hitting that share button, that like button. We definitely appreciate you guys. As you can see, we got these new mics. We got the handheld joints. So when we go out into the community, when we at your local bar or your local arena, we can use these instead of our condenser mics. We can hear everything, but also, not to mention, our nice mic flags is due to our sponsors, Crusader Gear. So we want to plug
all
them.
day, every day.
Appreciate them for doing that. Also, we want to. There we go. I got the camera way up. We also want to thank our guests, man. Hannibal. Bullet
We up
Valve.
here, man.
You
We
know
up
what I
here. They
mean?
say I froze up last time.
Yeah,
You know how
man.
to come
Yeah.
back on them, man.
Listen, man. It was late though. It was late, man.
Nigga making excuses now.
They said I had no energy.
Nah, you froze up. I'm just saying. You froze up. I'm
They
just
said I had
saying.
no energy, but
Maybe it was late.
I had to tell them I'm the wavy one, man.
You know what I'm saying? This guy, man.
I'm like Max B reincarnated.
Free Max B, baby. Oh, you stupid. You stupid.
Big event. No,
So for our last segment, we want to jump into some boxing. Last Saturday, Chris Godson,
Chris ain't with
Adrian.
me. He ain't with me. Nah.
Chris Godson, AB, all about Bills, ass backwards. He resurfaced as coon number 1, 2, and 3 in that regards. I just wanted to put that out there. I thought it was a decent fight. Listen, like Chris said, he said, AB, that's just how he fights. But I wanted the boxing expert to talk about him.
Yeah.
Not only him, but some other
Talk
people.
about it, Chris. Talk about it. Yeah, right there is where the camera should be zoomed in.
Chris
It
was
should
like,
have
yo,
zoomed in
listen.
on Chris right
But
there.
Chris said it wasn't a bad fight. He
No,
said
it was a really good fight. It was a really if I know a couple people who had or not big boxing fans who that was like the first full boxing match that they watched, and they was like, oh, this is entertaining. It was a very, very, very entertaining fight. Jesse Vargas, who got a solid chin, and so does Adrian Broner. So they both took really, really big shots. They both loaded up. It was high paced, definitely more high paced than the Adrian Broner fight normally is because he doesn't like to throw a lot of punches. But Jesse kind of forced him to do that, and Jesse threw a lot of punches, and they both connected. As we were talking about it, I felt a draw was a good decision. It could have went either way. The way I had it on the scorecards was it could be seven rounds to 5 for both of them. You know what I mean? Depending on how you judged certain rounds. I said I could see 6-4 maybe for Vargas. I couldn't see 6-4 for Broner winning. So a draw wasn't out of the realm. Sometimes a draw is fair. It's not often though, but sometimes it's fair. In this situation, draw was fair. Also, it works out for both of them. They both couldn't take another loss at this point in their career. They both have only lost to high-level A fighters. So, it just winds up working out for both of them because they could both say, well, we can go fight somebody else, or they could fight each other again for number 2, get a rematch, make some more money. It actually did very, very good in the pay-per-view buys. I mean, not pay-per-view buys, for viewers on HBO. It was one of the highest fights. It did really good. It's like almost 900,000 views it did, live. So that was really good. But in typical Adrian Broner fashion, he gives us this great fight where you go, listen, man, he did his thing. It was a draw, but we good with it. And then he gets the coonery going.
Right after.
I mean,
Directly after.
yo, are we on a different
Oh yeah, we good. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It just stopped, but we back on now.
We back on?
Yeah. We back on.
Something new.
Yeah, nah. It just. I don't know what happened. It just lost connection. Then it came back. So we all good now.
So anyway, in typical Adrian Broner fashion, he goes and takes this night that should be really good for him.
Yes.
Where he could be like, you know, listen, I thought I won the fight. Look at his face. Look at the work I did. Look at how I hurt him. And piggyback off that. He takes that opportunity to go, I beat him like they beat Martin Luther King.
First of all, Martin ain't get beat like that.
Exactly.
He goes, if we fight again, I want to fight around some black people. There's a bunch of Mexicans in here. They want to eat fried chicken and rice and shit. This is what Adrian Broner says. After, and it's like, I'm watching it and I'm like, this nigga can't be that dumb. So, that's exactly how.
No, but Chris, but you gotta tell.
Take the mic from Jim Gray.
But you gotta tell how you was watching it. Like yours was faster than mine.
Right.
So as I'm watching it, I'm talking to Chris. He said, "Oh, Quay, you ain't seen nothing yet." I said, "Chris, is more?" He said, "Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet." I said, "I'll be damned."
You got a call.
I'll be damned. Oh shoot, we got a call. Here we go.
Local too.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger. Who are we speaking with?
Hey, this is John West, bro. What's going on, man?
What's going on, John?
What's going on?
Okay.
Oh, the West Mike. the bunny snatcher.
Oh man.
AKA Stormtrooper, AKA Boba Fett White.
Hey, I don't go by that name no more.
That was the old you, right?
The old me, man.
What's good though?
I'm chilling, man. I just want to shout, say what's up to you guys, man. I'm loving what y'all doing, man. I seen the call-in number. I was like, I hope I'm not too late.
Thank you.
Infinity War conversation.
That's gonna be another show.
Listen, John, and Ruck are ready to go in heavy. Let me tell you something. This is all I really want to talk about. But since Quet and Hannibal ain't see it, and probably a lot of other people haven't seen it yet, we're gonna wait. But man, that's all I want to talk about.
But we also just gotta let you know, since you're on the phone, if you come around us, right, and you wearing the color purple,
Yeah, you a rap.
you are rap.
You a rap.
We ain't even talking. It's a dub.
I'm already in trouble then because I still got my Thanos socks on from Thursday when I.
Oh man! Not only do your feet stink, but you a rap.
Yeah. Anytime. Go ahead, man.
I might not take these Thanos socks off for a whole year, bro, till the next movie come out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you tripping.
I think, anytime somebody come around me talking something Thanos, I'm just gonna bring out a Stormbreaker and be like, "Listen, I'm enough with the bullshit. Enough."
Listen, man. So
They had to make up something to slay him down, but ain't nobody can mess with Thanos. That's the baddest dude in the Marvel universe, and they did it right. That's all I'm saying.
They pretty much proved that there will never ever be. I don't care what DC does with Darkseid, if that ever comes. Like, no matter what, Thanos will go down in history as the strongest villain ever, movies, period.
wow.
Period.
I agree with that.
Oh.
I mean, Darkseid's a beast, but DC's made so many mistakes that I can't even think about that guy right now. I'm all Thanos right now.
All Thanos.
Thanos for president.
We'll take him.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, you saying it right.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Thanos 2018.
Yo,
First grade again.
fam, Thanos was out there. Man, there's so much that I want to talk to you about, John, man. But again, we'll wait. We'll be right.
We gonna have to call you back on another.
We'll do it, yeah.
Well, listen. What you could do right now, John, since we're talking about things that make us mad and epic fails, you could talk about your Cowboys.
He just digging in
Here's
it.
Dallas one.
Bow.
Tell him,
Yes.
tell him we good, man. Tell him you already know where we going at the end of the season, man. Tell him you already
I
know.
want to talk about Oklahoma City Thunder, but
There you go. There you go.
no Thunder in Oklahoma.
Nah, it ain't no Thunder. We found it ain't no Thunder. We found out it wasn't Hoodie Mello. Shout out to Fab.
Nah, you put up 40 shots, homeboy.
Hoodie Melo's wearing the tank tops and beach shoes right now.
Yeah.
First of all, everybody on the team is, and Steven Adams been doing it all year.
Hold on. Give it to me. 1, 2, 3. Cancun.
We gotta start the boat up. We gotta
Start the boat up.
Listen, y'all can say that though. Y'all did the Cancun clap at the beginning of the season, though, John.
Damn.
Since you're a Knicks fan, they was like training camp. 1, 2, 3, Aruba.
Damn.
He already got footage of Paul George moving in with LeVar Ball anyway.
Never lost.
Yo, ain't you supposed to be in Turkey somewhere with Ennis Canada?
All jokes aside, it's funny that you brought up the Cowboys. I did see. I just saw on Facebook that they got Tavon Austin.
Yeah.
Which that's a good pickup. I'm still very upset about the death situation. I don't think
The really situation.
John.
I'm not sold on Dak Prescott. I'm not sold on Dak Prescott.
Me either, man.
Hey, John, stop it.
Top receiver because you believe in this other guy that can't reach our top receiver when he's throwing. I don't know, man.
Listen,
I feel like
John, I'm gonna tell you.
He's a bad Russell Wilson copy, bro. That's all he is.
Damn.
John, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna tell you what you sound like right now. You sound like Drax the Destroyer in the movie. I'll do you one better. Who is good? Shut up, John. You're talking about Dallas. This is Jerry's world, okay? Stop it.
Candy
Like,
Lane.
our boy Romo should have stayed on the team, man.
You got a lot of turmoil in Green Bay, so I don't know. Come over this.
Listen. We good. We got a whole bunch of stuff in Wisconsin. We got cheese. We got green weed.
Got Danica Patrick now.
We ain't testing none of our DBs, so they all good. We straight. Hey, I bet you my quarterback better than yours.
All y'all got is goat cheese over there.
I bet you my quarterback better than yours. Say something. I bet you want a discount double check. My quarterback way better than yours.
So listen. So John.
It's not that good. And you know what? We're gonna find out this season how bad Dak Prescott is because everyone acted like, oh well, Ezekiel is not playing, but your running backs have nothing to do with your ability or lack thereof to throw a football at receivers.
True.
Okay, that's facts.
And if this guy's as mobile as they were saying that he is and everything like that, I understand that we have some offensive guys that were hurt, whatever. But guess what? Tony Romo was running for his life for 8 years as the starting quarterback of the Cowboys, and he still was able to put up better numbers than Dak Prescott.
That's my boy, yeah, man. That's my boy Romo, man.
He didn't have a running back until he got DeMarco Murray, and that was only a couple years ago. Okay, prior to that, he had running backs that I can't even tell you their names. Tony Romo was running for his life. Every time he snapped the ball, he was looking like I don't even know what he was in a horror movie, but he was still throwing every year. Prescott's in the same situation with your leg, a stronger upper body, and all you doing is holding under the pressure. So I don't know. I'm not really sold on him. You had a great first year. Now everybody figured footage on you. Nobody watched footage on you because you was the 1,576 pick.
Dang.
Now you can't do nothing. Now we trying to figure out what is a Dak Prescott. Now that's what we trying to figure out.
Hey man.
Listen, John.
First the Fat Boys break up.
Listen.
now it is.
And my thing is, if you were going to release Des Bryant, why release him? Trade him to somebody. Give him up. Honestly, our receiving core is so deep, even without Tavon Austin. In my opinion, we could have traded Des Bryant and those draft picks and got a quarterback. You know what I mean? And even if Dak Prescott is that good, or maybe he's not, have him fight it out. He don't even got to fight for his job, and you ain't even do that good of a job. It's crazy.
Typical Dallas.
Crazy. And now Des Bryant gonna go somewhere else and get a ring. I guarantee you, Des Bryant will get a Super Bowl before his career is over.
Niners will take
He's
him.
gonna look right at Jerry Jones.
He's supposed to be in Green Bay next week.
And I'm gonna
Is he?
Just saying.
Listen, John.
Throw the X up.
real talk. If I was Des Bryant, I would go to Green Bay. That's where I would go.
Throw the X
I'll
up.
go to Green Bay. Or I'll go
It's
to
the Rock.
And I hate saying that. I'll go to the
So,
Giants, I'll go to Green Bay.
John, is it safe for me to assume that you think that Des Bryant got something left in him?
Yeah, I think Des Bryant has a lot left in the
Not as a receiver one.
No, where?
As a receiver two, like as your second best option.
Hold on. Nobody said that he's a receiver one. Nobody still have a lot in the tank. He's still a formidable asset, and if you put him anywhere else,
I take him as a possession receiver.
Now you got something
Red
to worry
zone?
about because
That's all he
as
is
much
a
as I
red
don't
zone.
like, as much as
I
I
take
hate
him
the
and Jimmy
Giants,
Graham in the
you
red
got
zone.
Odell. If you got Odell
Oh
getting
yeah, I
double
forgot Jimmy
teamed,
G
a guy
is
like
over
Des
there.
Bryant's gonna eat all day. It's gonna eat all day. It's no different than a Julio Jones, Roddy White situation. Not to say that Dez is better or the same as Roddy White, but if you got a guy that's a monster already, and then you throw a guy like Des Bryant, who, if there's a quarterback that's formidable, he'll catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? I think Des Bryant caught a real bad rap this past season. He had a couple injuries, and he had a quarterback that just wasn't really the type. And not for nothing, Des Bryant was never really burning anybody. He outmuscles you and outjumps you and gets the football. And I still don't see how many. I don't really know what cornerbacks or safeties are really shutting him down like that.
I think everyone is. Let me ask you. But here's the thing. Well, I said I think every DB is. But I want to bring up a point that Tom made that I was just about to make. Like I understand last year might have been a little difficult with Dak not getting them the ball maybe as much and injuries and all that stuff. And I can give him last year a pass. But what about the other 3? Like I feel like that. Like what about just learn the route running tree? Or be dedicated.
Well, listen.
Des did have a lot of targets last year too. He gets wide receiver 1 targets. He gets a lot of targets.
Yeah, I know he gets a lot of targets, but he drops a lot of balls.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't get separation.
A lot of injury. Ever since he got that contract,
What'd you say?
But his targets have gone down.
Nah, they was up last year. I think he had like over 100. I think he had like over 125 targets last year.
I think he did have a fair amount of targets last year, but my thing.
So the ball was thrown
To him, these targets is thrown to him. No, I'm talking about targets to him. Like he was targeted over 120 times last year.
So you should at least have 60 catches.
Was the ball thrown to Dez?
Yeah, the balls don't.
I think it was.
Any other receiver?
Oh yeah, I think he got more.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna take our resident cowboy where I think he did. If I felt like Dez got too many balls thrown his way, then really, honestly, to tell you the truth, it's to me, he's a poor man's Anquan Bolden because at least hold on, no, and let me tell you why. Because I feel like I tell you why. Because Anquan was a receiver that really couldn't get separation. The difference was Anquan had vice grips.
Yeah.
And if you just get it in the vicinity, he'll outmuscle and he'll definitely catch it. Right. And I feel like Des Bryant's best attribute is that he's a good 50-50 jump ball receiver. I feel like that's his best attribute. But 50-50? I just want better odds than 50-50. And I feel like Anquan Bolden give you 80-20 if you get it his way.
I think 50-50 is a bit of a stretch personally. And then even if I'm not gonna argue the 125 targets or whatnot because I don't really know that number. Watching the games this season, I didn't really feel like the ball was thrown at him. I
watched every game.
I will say of the amount of times the ball was thrown to him, they weren't really great catches. And I'm really not making excuses for Dez, and I may sound biased because I really just don't like Dak Prescott.
Okay.
But over the past 4 seasons, Dez Bryant has not had a stable quarterback. Tony Romo's last 2 years was a hot mess. Then we got Brandon Weeden trying to throw, whoever the other guy's name is, that's the third string.
And Dez was hurt himself, though. Dez was hurt himself. After Dez got that contract in like 2014, he was hurt after that. Because that year when Romo was out, that year 2014, I think it was 2015, that 2015 season he got his contract. Him and Romo were both out like majority of the whole season. Dez had that's.
You gotta remember too. You gotta protect your investment. So if Dez Bryant just signed this major money deal, he knows what's guaranteed, and he's like, maybe I can get another guarantee contract or whatever. Thinking about like the future, I'm not gonna bust my ass and like work extra hard and risk more injury, and y'all don't even know who's throwing to me. I'm not gonna do that. And
But he ain't been productive since he got that contract. He ain't ever since he signed that contract. Ever since that 2014 season where he bust ass like damn near the best receiver in the league. The next season he got his contract.
Right? That was Romo's first injury, right? His first big injury of that, like, kind of led to the demise of his career.
Yeah, that's 2015.
Dez was only on the
Dez was
field 9 games in 2015,
Yeah.
and he missed 3 games in 2016. That's courtesy of Tom. Always keeps it gully.
There we go.
But listen, the way I feel about Dez,
I tell you what, we can go. I put it to you like this: we can go back and forth all day about who's really to blame for Dez's current situation at this point. I just truly believe that on another team with a strong quarterback, a strong offensive, just a better team. Because as much as I love the Cowboys as an organization they're one bad decision away from being the New York Knicks of the NFL. Let's call it what it is.
Shit.
Wow.
Let's call it what it is.
They kind of already there.
Right?
Shit.
So, yeah, they kind of are already.
Wow.
Right? You're supposed to be America's team. You're supposed to be the staple of the NFL, and you're a joke. People can't wait to, like, take a dump on the star, right? That's kind of like that.
Make America great again, John.
Yeah, and everybody wants to go to the Garden and drop 50, except the people that play for the Knicks.
Wait, hold on, John. Michael Beasley is your favorite player's favorite player. Stop it now.
You know how to endorse light skins like that.
That's why you don't like Dak. Okay.
Yeah.
They too unstable. I can't endorse them.
You stupid.
I think we're gonna bounce back, man. I think we're
I
gonna
really
bounce back.
think Dez is going to bounce back. I think Dez is going to land himself on a really good team, and I think he's going to be straight, and we'll see. Dez Bryant making the Pro Bowl. Watch.
Well, if he go to Green Bay, there's a chance of that. A heavy chance.
Yeah, there's a great chance of that. And I tell you what, Aaron Gordon would love trying a guy like Dez Bryant for like those fade routes, those jump balls.
Who's Aaron Gordon?
Who's
Aaron
Gordon?
Rodgers.
You talking about Orlando?
talk about Aaron.
Aaron.
Listen, I mean, I understand. I really wouldn't want. I'm a Green Bay enthusiast. Let's just say that, okay? Enthusiast. All right, mainly because of Aaron Rodgers and my boy Devontae Adams, because fantasy football and all.
Go ahead,
I really wouldn't want Dez messing up that receiving core. I just wouldn't. I just don't think. I feel like all the receivers in Green Bay are smart and are good route runners and hard workers, and I don't feel that Dez is any of those. So, me personally, if he's gonna succeed, I think he needs to go to a place where they can dumb it down good for him. So like Tampa or Tennessee or a place like that. That'd be good for him. And he'll make the playoff. Maybe even Jacksonville.
Tom said that
You want Dez to just go somewhere and die, is what you're saying?
he's already
For
dead.
lack of a better word, yes.
You can't go to a franchise that can better him? Like,
Well,
See, that's the thing. I think a good franchise would go, I'm straight on Dez. I'm straight on Dez.
Tom
Nah,
said-
no, thank you.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom said Dez is not making a Pro Bowl outside of PlayStation. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But John, man, we just want to thank you for calling in, man.
Tom, you got to call back next week so we could talk Infinity War.
Yes.
Because that's what I really want to talk
Or
about.
just come on, and
come by,
y'all
yeah.
can have like your own special.
hey, man, listen, you know me, man. I make my own schedule, so whenever y'all need me, come through.
Oh.
I bet.
Oh,
Bet.
he's got to throw those things out there. Huh?
All right, John, man. Thank you, man.
All right, Boba Fett.
Hey, man, stay blessed.
All right, man, peace.
John like the dark-skinned Dos Equis man.
Yeah, stupid. Yeah, stupid. But I mean, listen, man. Tom, we just want to thank you for always, giving us the
Always,
one-liners,
Tom.
man,
Let me
giving us
tell
the
you something.
stats,
Tom come.
giving us the real.
Tom come with the heat, man. Say come with the heat. Oh, my
Tom is
goodness.
definitely that fourth member, man. Tom is definitely that fourth member. But,
Real.
but before we wrap it up, man, does anybody have anything to say, man?
Well, yeah, I'd like to finish
I
my
got-
boxing point.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Let me get one.
Go get yours.
I want to see my boy Irv get drafted, man. In this damn
Yeah.
draft right now, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. What say we stand up, baby?
Syracuse, boy. Syracuse. Urban Phillips. Meadowbrook, baby.
I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. Finish your boxing point. Please tell us. Since you got the little iPad over there, man, he got.
All right, well, listen, to wrap everything, a little iPad.
Yeah.
Big boys. 10.7.
I got the 9.5. My shit ain't nothing.
Yo, as soon as I came here, I started comparing stuff. I was like, nah, my shit bigger.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I didn't realize how, because I was like, all right, 9.5. That's not bad. And then I was like, yeah, nah, I see it. That shit dope. But,
But see it though, but feel it though.
He's stupid. Hey, yeah, I'm stupid.
Yo, hold that for a minute.
Yeah,
Hold that.
You still got double handle?
Feel the weight.
Oh man, nah, man. Listen, to wrap everything up in a bow. Fuck Adrian Broner here, cool.
You stupid.
Like, what you want me
Okay.
to? I'm done, man. I just.
Okay, well, can you tell us about some good boxers? Like, give us like a few that people should be
Jacobs
watching.
tonight, right?
Danny Jacobs tonight.
Okay.
For sure, Danny Jacobs tonight. Some good boxes. I mean, there's a. Well, I told you about the Charlo brothers
Charlo
that you.
brothers.
Well, you got to watch Jamel and
Jesus.
yeah, Jesus.
Charlo brothers is
I'm always going to stand for my boy Vasily Lomachenko. He's my favorite boxer right now, by far. And he's got a big fight coming up with Jorge Linares and Mikey Garcia. Just finished up something where he's going to fight Robert Easter Jr. Now, you guys might not know Robert Easter Jr. Oh, but he's a problem. He is a problem.
I take it that his father ain't Robert.
Yes. Okay. You got Robert Easter Jr. He's definitely up and coming, up and coming fighter. Obviously, you got your big news. Keith Thurman has vacated his WBC belt.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Basically because he don't want to fight nobody hard right now. And that's the real. He hurt his elbow, and they had to get surgery. And that part I understand. But even before the injury, he wasn't jumping. He was like, I will give him that he had to have 2 hard fights in a row against the elite of the elite in the welterweight division. He had to fight Sean Porter in a dog fight that he barely won. I mean, it was if I'm not mistaken, it was either a split decision victory for Thurman, or like he won by 1 or 2 rounds on all the score. So it was like a 7-5 all across the board. Okay. And that's his mandatory to defend that belt. So yeah, he don't want to fight him again. And then right after that fight, he had to fight Danny Garcia to win the WBC. So again, that's 2 top flight fighters in the welterweight division back to back. And the next fight that everybody wanted him to take was against Earl Spence. And it's like, come on, man. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. So, he wants to take it easy, I'm going to assume. So he's not going to be fighting anybody worthwhile for a little bit. Let's see. We got Adonis Stevenson is going to be fighting Badu Jack soon. I think that's next month. That's going to be a big fight. Luque Matissa, the Machine, going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao in the coming months. That's going to be a big fight. Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
I felt a way about Deontay Wilder on this show. Anybody who watch it knows.
We know.
I got to be on Deontay Wilder's side this time.
Oh.
He got $50 million in the contract for a 50-50 split purse against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he live streamed it. He sent the email to Anthony Joshua's promoter and Anthony Joshua's manager, and they confirmed that they got the deal. And they're not gonna take it. They're gonna fight some bum. So, some mandatory bum. And I'm just like, listen, this fight was about the money. For Anthony Joshua to get $50 million up front, which would be Anthony Joshua, just for reference point, is the bigger of the 2 fighters as far as star power. So for you to get a guaranteed $50 million, which would be almost more than quadruple than you ever made in your boxing career in one fight, and 50-50 of the purse split, which, don't get me wrong, I think he should take less money up front and get a bigger share of the purse, or the pay-per-view purse, but fine, whatever. But for all of those things to be aligned and for you not to take the fight, I don't want to hear you talk about Deontay Wilder again. Don't say you want him next. Don't say you gunning for him after your next fight. Nah, B, you don't. You don't want him. Because let me tell you something. You don't. The way mandatories work in boxing is you hold, for instance, and this is because I got it up. Anthony Joshua holds the WBO, the IBF, and the WBA World Heavyweight Championship belts. Deontay Wilder holds the WBC. Anthony Joshua is considered the linear heavyweight champ, which means you can trace his belts all the way back to Jack Johnson. So he's considered the linear, legitimate heavyweight champion.
Okay.
As you go through each sanctioning body, because that's what the belt is. WBO is its own sanction, IBF, WBA, WBC. They all their own sanction. They all got their list of fighters that they got that you need to fight next. They all rate them. Okay. You know what I mean? So I don't know what title this guy, that's his mandatory is, but let's just say he's the IBF mandatory. With him being IBF mandatory, that means the WBO and the WBA got to sign off and say he's a worthy competitor for you to fight so that you can keep your belts for those sanctioning bodies, and he's in our top 10 of fighters. So you don't have to fight our mandatory because you're fighting that mandatory. That all makes sense to everybody?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So
Preach.
Deontay Wilder, though, is the WBC champion. So if you turn down the IBF's mandatory and say, I want to make him my mandatory, they wouldn't disagree with you. They would say, that's fine. Is he going to pay? When you fight for a title, you have to pay money to fight for the title. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't know that.
And when you defend them, you got to pay money too. You got to pay like sanctioning taxes, fees, basically to be the champion.
Okay.
Especially if it's a big fight. So why wouldn't the IBF want to kick out whoever I can't even remember this bum's name. That's how much of a bum he is. Why wouldn't they want to kick this guy out? Put Deontay Wilder as he's suitable for our mandatory. He's suitable. Of course he's suitable. He's the fucking champ. He's the only other heavyweight that has a belt.
Right.
Of course he's fucking suitable. And he's undefeated and has won every fight by knockout except one. Why wouldn't he be suitable? To me, it reeks that Anthony Joshua does not want to fight Deontay Wilder. And I'm fine with that. If you don't want to fight somebody, this is a man's sport. If you don't want to fight somebody, then don't fight somebody. But don't let me hear you talking about you want to see Deontay Wilder in a month or two.
Right.
Or 2 months from now. I don't want to hear it. Because what it reeks to me is Anthony Joshua being a coward.
Preach.
That's why that boy is who he is.
That boy good.
Chris.
That boy good. Well, as the fight starts to approach, Chris, I definitely want you to start off with boxing first, because like I said, you know why? Because there's a lot of people who think that they know boxing. You know, I know you, Tommy. There's some people that know boxing, but I'm tired of people that just watch boxing. Like, oh, no. Listen, it's not about the knockouts. It's like you gotta be smart, you know, and you gotta really understand the game, you know. So we're gonna have to lead off on boxing, you know, once the NBA playoffs die down. So
Listen, man, Cinco de Mayo is kind of like, I almost feel like Cinco de Mayo is the start of the regular season for boxing.
That's a great analogy.
Around May, it's like the WrestleMania of boxing. It's like that's it's always supposed to be the biggest fight. And Floyd I just want to make this very clear. Floyd made it like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You got to give props where props is due.
Yes,
Floyd made Cinco de Mayo the thing, not Oscar. Even though Oscar fought on Cinco de Mayo, Floyd put it on the map for the world. So, with that being said, you know, it's right around the time of Cinco de Mayo and after you get all the big boxing matches.
That's true, Tom.
You get all of them. So, you know, it's gonna be a hell of a ride. We're gonna learn a lot in the boxing world in the coming months with some of the fighters that gotta fight each other, mandatories. And some of the fights that's been announced, and some of the future fights that will be announced if things work out, the way they're supposed to. So I'll be happy too.
Cool. As long as you're happy, we happy, man. As long as you're happy, we happy. Again, man, we just want to thank you, man, coming on the show, man. You know what I mean? Staying with us almost 2 hours, man, and and like talking this time, giving us some Dez Bryant facts,
Yeah, I know, right? He got right up on John.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Chris got me in a fantasy, so I know I had Dez as a He was my second round pick in my fantasy.
Of course it was.
Yeah, so he know so what he's basically saying is
I know.
he knows why he's depressed. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because when you got somebody in fantasy, best believe you know about them.
Better than the owner, better than the manager.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I watched it firsthand. I said he had to go, man. For my team, he had to go like the third week of my team.
I remember people in the big league, the league that you guys used to be in. People were like, "Man, you couldn't sell me Des Bryant." It's like, "Yo, I give you such and such a Des Bryant for Allen Hurns." Nah, man, not enough.
Right.
Not
Why
enough.
you cursing at me?
John said, "Don't make me call back." Nah, chill, John.
Chill, John.
Chill,
Chill,
son.
John.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Like I said, I just want to thank Bud for coming on, John for calling in, Mark from Dallas, calling in. We definitely appreciate you guys.
Time
And
as always.
your Tom, listen, man. Tom is a resident here, man.
Yeah, man.
Tom is a resident, man. Tom come in, he open up the refrigerator, man. He get himself some Cornish hens or
Yo,
something.
he bruv man
Yeah.
from the fifth floor.
Yeah, man. Tom, man. Listen,
Tom, the
Tom.
guy on the couch from
Tom,
Half
man,
Baked.
come in, get you that, old piece of fried chicken, man, warm up in the microwave, man. Get you some Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
You know,
Chill out.
yeah.
Help yourself, man.
Yeah, Tom is Melvin drinking Kool-Aid in front of the stove. You want some breakfast?
Yeah, word, man, word. And Tom, when you were talking about the tablet, Tom said it's not how big the wave is, it's the motion in the ocean. Tom said, I want some of that mac and cheese. Okay, Tom. Find out Tom was dipping in the little chocolate pudding back in the day. What you know about that mac and cheese and collard green, Tom? You know.
The side of champions.
Uh-huh.
Mac and cheese and collard greens, the side of champions, okay?
Definitely, man. Definitely, man.
Oh, man.
But on behalf of everybody, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks again for tuning into another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
It's your boy, the Ruck Report. Church.
Your boy Bullavelli, man. I'll be back in on this thing soon.
Yeah, all right. All right, peace.
One.
Oh, man, yeah.